Hello and welcome to this recording about justice and service professions here at the University of St. Thomas. My name is Kyle Thomas. I'll be your moderator for today's panel. There are so many great pathways into careers with a focus on service to others. And we're really excited to highlight a few of the many ways that our programs and majors here at St. Thomas allow our students a pathway into careers with a focus on helping industries. I am joined today by many of our wonderful faculty members here at St. Thomas. I go ahead and reveal them. Hello, everyone. And we're going to learn from them. So I'm going to call on each of the panelists, have them introduce themselves. Panelists, you're going to tell us your name, the program in which you work, and how long you've been teaching here at St. Thomas. After we do introductions, then we have just 3 questions, but each of our panelists will get the chance to answer them. And then we'll do closing. So first, I gotta share my screen again so everyone can see that. First, we got Dr. Smith.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Amy Smith. I am the Department Chair in Teacher Education as well as faculty for Elementary Education Literacy Methods. And this is my beginning of my 20th year at St. Thomas.
Wonderful. Dr. Gladney.
Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Tanya Gladney. I am with the Department of Justice and Society Studies. I will be speaking for the Sociology and Criminal Justice program. And I've been at St. Thomas for 14 years.
Wonderful. Dr. Klein.
And my name is Michael Klein. I'm also with the Department of Justice and Society Studies. I direct the Justice and Peace Studies program. I'm an associate professor in that program. I was also an undergrad here at St. Thomas. I was a staff person, and I've been teaching in the program since 2002.
Very good. Dr. Nesmith.
Hi, I'm Andy Nesmith, and I am in the social work program with the School of Social Work. In the undergraduate BSW program, I am the program director and associate professor, and I have been at St. Thomas for 10 years.
Wonderful. And Dr. Nuru.
I'm Audra Nuru. I'm the director of family studies and an associate professor, and I've been at the University of St. Thomas for 3 years.
Wonderful. All right, now I'll stop my screen again. Okay, so here we have everyone. Thanks so much for introducing yourselves. I'm really excited to learn more about each of our programs. So our first question, what is unique or stands out about your program? So that one question we'll pose to each of you, starting with Dr. Smith.
Well, I love that question. In teacher education, we prepare teachers. Essentially, that is an overall event for anybody entering our program, but some few of the things that stand out about teacher education are it really allows you to pursue a topic of your passion. It might be a content area or something, and then learn how to teach and share that with others. So you can combine your profession with something that you really are interested in intellectually, or that is really a passion-driven subject for you. In our School of Education, we have a very focused, dedicated faculty in diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as in social justice issues. We've recently mapped culturally sustaining pedagogies onto every one of our courses in our program. And so it's really a strong focus for us in how teaching as a profession can really change lives and impact society in ways well beyond learning reading, writing, and arithmetic. So if you are really interested in kind of living your profession with a deep sense of purpose, teaching might be for you as a way of really exploring a passion and following it through. And one other piece I'd just like to say about our program is that we are unique in the Twin Cities in that you begin field experience in your very first course. That means you're out in schools from the very beginning of your program all the way through the end. Thanks.
Wonderful. Same question to you, Dr. Gladney.
Thank you. And I would like to speak on behalf of Sociology and Criminal Justice. Just as a starting base, may not be unique, but we are very committed to making sure that we support students' career path from the moment they declare the major. For us, it's not about declaring the major. We feel like to really support the students, each and every time you meet with us for for academic counseling, we like to make sure that we are constantly asking you those questions on what are your career goals, what are you considering, because we're very passionate in making sure that we provide the resources for our majors to make sure that once they're done at the end of that 4th year, as a department chair, I want to hear that the student know and have a direction on the next step. And I would like to say that we're very committed to supporting students, making sure that we guide them in the area of resources. For our sociology program, what I really love and unique is that we pretty much can support all passions, right? We partner with programs across the university to make sure that students can get that interdisciplinary learning, where we partner with the social work department because we often have sociology students who would like to go into counseling. We have more partnership with the law school, where we often have students who would like to be attorneys. And we provide those partnerships because we know that in the sociology program and criminal justice, that can be your base. But in order to really enhance the career goals, that we make sure that students take advantage of the different programs across the university. For our criminal justice program, we have a post-approved law enforcement program where we have students who are interested in law enforcement at the local state level, but we also have resources to support students who are considering federal law enforcement as well. We're very passionate about community service, and we have those integrated in all of our classes in the sociology and criminal justice program. We're very committed to community engagement. And this is how we really support students in understanding how to advance the common good and also what it looks like in your field in doing so. So I would say that those are some of the nuggets that we provide in our sociology and criminal justice program.
Great, thanks so much. Dr. Klein.
So in justice and peace studies, like my colleagues already, we really believe in theory and action coming together, right? We want to be able to understand the world as it is, and we want to take action to make the world what it could be. And we talk about that as a circle of praxis, of really starting with communities who are facing injustice or violence or marginalization, and moving from there into descriptive analysis through the social sciences to have a very interdisciplinary view of what might need to change, and then a normative analysis that accounts for ethics and philosophy and religion and all of those things that help bring meaning to the stories that we hear, and then action planning. We want students to be effective and ethical in the change that they want to make. And so we do that with one foot in the classroom, one foot out in the community, trying to figure out how to make change in the best way possible.
Wonderful, thanks so much. Dr. Nesmith.
In social work, I would say one of the more unique things is that we have 2 field placements. There is a junior field placement, which is a little bit shorter, about a semester, and we have a senior field placement, which is all year round. So you have 2 opportunities to work in a social work practice setting and get some experience, and also sometimes just figure out this is what it might be what you love, and you might also learn this is what I don't love, and you've got another opportunity to experiment with another place. We have social workers are in so many settings. I couldn't possibly name them all right now, but that is another unique characteristic, is social workers are in so many different places, and which I think we're going to talk about more in a little bit here. But we also do partner, as Dr. Gladney mentioned, with criminal justice. We're working on partnership with justice and peace studies, with psychology. So there are a number of ways, if you're interested in a dual degree, you can do that easily with social work. And I would say finally, the other thing is that our students who are interested in going on to get a master's degree, we have an option where you can go on, you can apply your junior year if you would like. And then if you're accepted, you can go straight through and get your master's in 1 extra year.
Wonderful. And Dr. Nuru.
Thank you. Family Studies is an interdisciplinary program where we focus on forging strong families and fostering strong communities. Therefore, we draw on and contribute to multiple disciplines in order to serve families. Family Studies is a field through which graduates use research findings to create programs, policies, and practices to improve the environments where children, youth, adults, and families interact. I think the most unique thing that stands out about the Family Studies program is that it embraces a multidisciplinary curriculum and offers endless possibilities. You see, we here in Family Studies at St. Thomas understand that everyone has a unique story, and who better to tell your story than you? That's why we offer a curriculum that you can cater to your needs. Are you interested in working in marriage and family therapy? Well, then great. Take our family-focused psychology offerings, such as lifespan development or psychology of marriage and family. Are you interested in working in family welfare or advocacy? Well, great news. You can take our family-focused social work offerings, or take our family-focused communication offerings to learn how to market to, consult, and effectively communicate with families. We have tons of offerings to fit your individual needs.
Wonderful. Sounds great. Our second question for our panelists is, tell us about the learning experience in your program. So we'll start with teacher education.
Yes, well, in teacher education, you'll find that you have multiple pathways that you can pursue for education. There are K-12 licenses for things like music and Phi-Ed, or secondary education in sciences or communication, arts, and literature, sort of a 5th through 12th grade, or you can pursue a K-6 elementary license. However, all of our students take their first courses together. There's a core or a foundational set of courses, which then lead to license-specific areas. We're accredited and have a long-standing reputation in the Twin Cities for producing and preparing excellent teachers. So that's part of your learning experience, is very broad at the start, and then really focusing in with your colleagues and people who are studying the same thing as you. All of our students, you will have embedded field experience, as I mentioned in the previous question, from the very start of your program. In partner schools, we partner really strongly with both Minneapolis and St. Paul public schools, as well as schools in Spring Lake Park, and we have outstate schools. We're all around the state working now virtually and sometimes face-to-face with our students in the field, learning right from the start what it takes to be a teacher. Another part that I think is really wonderful for us is that we have small class sizes. So, for example, when you're studying in teacher education, you won't have a class of greater than 20 students, and quite often your special methods classes are around 12 or 13 students. So you can develop very strong and supported relationships with your faculty here. One of the things that, you know, it's not an uncommon saying to say that our faculty knows a lot of things, but one of them is your name. It's really true. It's very hard to be inconspicuous in any of your teacher education program. And finally, I'd say one of the things about your experience is that you can connect really closely with faculty and present and do research. We've got students doing studies with faculty. We have actually coming up this fall, we have 6 undergraduate students presenting a Dean's Forum on disrupting inequity in elementary school curriculum, and that is a statewide offering with hundreds of people coming to hear them. So there's lots of opportunity to explore your field and grow your professional dispositions and competencies.
Wonderful. Let's hear next from sociology and criminal justice.
Thank you. And similar to what Dr. Smith just shared, we also have small class size. Within the actual program, the largest class size we will have, and that is 30 students. And we really get to know our students. We get to know your name. We check in with our students. We make sure that students are, that they know us. We provide opportunities where we will have faculty, where we have a department event so we can engage with our students. Another part of the learning experience outside the classroom is that we offer an annual career expo, so students can see what it looks like to have a degree in sociology and or criminal justice. And this is where we bring in 20 plus community partners, and they come from private agencies, nonprofit agencies, federal, state, and local law enforcement, to engage with the students. And the students get to ask the questions about their agency. They get to ask if they have internships or if there's opportunities to volunteer at their organizations. So we're very happy to be able to provide that resources so students can start that conversation and engage in what they would like to do with their career, but most importantly, to support their career goals. We're very committed to community engagement, as I shared previously, that with our classes, we have different types of a community engagement, with some that's at the level of actually providing projects for nonprofit organizations to help them fulfill their mission for the nonprofit organization. We also provide global learning. We have study abroad programs, a class for our sociology class. We have Dr. Maddox who has sponsored a class for Puerto Rico with youth, and it's called Youth Culture and Education. And we're excited about this course. It's going to be in Puerto Rico, and we can't wait until we can travel again. so we're just waiting on that moment where we can travel again. For the criminal justice program, I have developed a course where the plan was to go to London, and the goal is to compare London policing model with the US policing model. And we're looking forward to that opportunity as well. Again, once those restrictions where we can go and travel, those are the global opportunities that we would like to provide for our students. And again, Career Expo, global opportunities, small class sizes, that's part of our learning experience in our programs.
Great, thanks so much. And Justice and Peace Studies.
Learning in our program really does follow that pairing of theory and action together, starting with focusing on people and communities facing injustice, oppression, or marginalization, but not leaving it at the problem, but also recognizing the resilience, the power, the beauty of those communities as they try to find their way forward, and as we can walk with them on some of that journey. We look for creative solutions through social movement leadership, through conflict transformation, through public policy work. Those are our three concentrations within the program: in leadership, conflict, and policy. And we really believe that students are not just the leaders of tomorrow and the hope of the future, they are leaders today. They have power and agency to make change in and with our communities, even as they're learning. They don't have to wait for positions of power or money or influence. Now is the time to act. And we take those actions through internships with world-class organizations right here in the Twin Cities, or placements around the nation and around the world. We have a student group called Students for Justice and Peace that come together to practice leadership and to work on campus and in communities for change. We have a course in leadership for social justice where students are a published author by the end of the course. They write a chapter of a book that we publish each year on a particular organization. Last year, it was a nonprofit developer of an eco-community for the creative economy. This year, we're working with a local Dakota community to tell their story and to look toward federal recognition as a tribe. That research is, again, grounded in community, but it gives students a chance to know how to do research, to present it at conferences, to take professional steps forward all along the way.
Thank you, and let's hear from social work.
In social work, if I had to describe it with just a phrase, I would say that the learning experience is really hands-on and interactive. In addition to the field placements, we have practice-based courses and we have more content-based courses. And the practice courses are the smaller ones where you are doing role-playing, you will be practicing, you'll be watching videos and maybe creating videos of working with clients, communities, families. And then our content courses are still interactive. They're a little more about learning the facts and the background, but we always have group projects, group activities, things like that, so that you're never just sitting there and passively absorbing information. We also have this angle of how do we help the person or the family or the community, and then also further upstream, because we are also based on social justice, how do we change what's causing the problem to begin with? And that involves looking at policy, we talk to legislators. We go as a group, actually all the social workers in the state. So you get to meet all the social work students in the state, like 1,000 of them at once. We go to the capital of Minnesota when there's not a pandemic, and we meet, the students meet with legislators, we hear speakers, but we also speak to how can we change things so that these problems don't continue. And lastly, I want to say that we have two programs that are relatively new that we started that are study abroad that also allow to do your field placement there, which is one in Botswana, if Africa is of interest to you, and one of them is in Mexico as well.
Wonderful, thanks so much. And let's hear from family studies.
Thank you. Well, the learning experience is the best part. A major in family studies is as broad or as focused as you want to make it. We invite students to cater their major to their interests, while at the same time gaining a foundation in competencies relevant to their lives as professionals, citizens, and family members. Our students have completed internships with the Minnesota District Court, Fraser, Children's Hospital, just to name a few. And further, because we're an interdisciplinary program, we're able to offer study abroad programs such as in Rome, or the sociology study abroad in Puerto Rico, or the social work one in Botswana. We pair with them. So again, family studies is as broad or as focused as you want to make it, and we're here to support you.
Wonderful. So it sounds like during their time here at St. Thomas, our students get a lot of practical experience, a lot of foundational experience, and have opportunities to travel the world, get involved in local communities. Our final question today is, what are your graduates doing after their time at St. Thomas has ended? So we'll start with Dr. Smith.
Well, in teacher education, the whole goal really is teaching. And I'm really pleased to say that even last spring, we, in the midst of changing from face-to-face student teaching and then doing virtual student teaching, every one of our graduates who wanted a job in teaching was hired before this fall. So we have a really tremendous placement rate. It's about 98%. And we have two students who did not end up teaching this fall, but that was by their choice. One of them is in graduate school, and one of them is a missionary at an educational services site in the southern United States. So in that way, if I'm not the math lady, I'm the reading lady, I could say we have 100% placement, because the people who want to teach are teaching, and that's really a point of pride for us in teacher education. So occasionally the students who don't go on to teaching might go on to graduate school. Often it's in special education, so they can earn an advanced degree and change their protocol. Also, we have students who maybe teach for a few years and then take an administrative track. Maybe they'd like to be principals and take leadership in a different direction. One thing that we do say, though, is that our graduates really are proving that one person can make a difference, and that by teaching you can actually inspire an entire generation of change.
Wonderful. All right, let's hear from Dr. Gladney.
Thank you. The beauty of the sociology program, that is endless. Our students, they have secured jobs across different types of different areas in the job market. An example, counseling, after receiving a master's, sales and marketing with corporations. We've had students to work with nonprofit organizations. For our students that love research, some students have secured jobs as a research analyst with different types of jobs. We've had students to secure jobs in the healthcare industry, and also to go on to be attorneys for those who went to law school. For our criminal justice program, it's similar to the jobs with sociology, with a little more specific area in, I would say, youth counseling. We've had students to secure jobs as a youth counselor. A court clerk has been very popular with our students who've completed our program. And also students have secured jobs in law enforcement at the state, city, and federal level.
Okay, great. Let's hear from Dr. Klein.
And in answer to the question, our graduates do everything. We're also an interdisciplinary program, and it's hard to keep track of the many different paths they take. Certainly our concentrations in conflict policy and leadership are some of the directions that they follow. But let me give you a few examples. Michalina is a peace researcher in England. She's working with survivors of the Bosnian War and sexual violence in Bosnia. Evan is in Chicago connecting artists, schools, and nonprofits together to make art more accessible to people and to give artists more of a community. Sarah is facilitating restorative justice circles in the Minnesota corrections system for people re-entering society from incarceration. Bridget is a peace engineer creating mechanical solutions to global problems. Lindsay's creating permaculture solutions for urban areas to try to figure out how to do right by the environment right in our cities. Laura is addressing cancer in her own Native American communities. And Mishka pairs runners with people experiencing homelessness to build relationship and community through a program called Mile in My Shoes. Essentially, if you graduate from our program, you become a peace educator, a peace engineer, a justice real estate agent, a justice social worker. It's adding that normative frame to the other work that you might do, or focusing on peace studies as a career.
Wonderful. Let's hear from Dr. Nesmith.
Well, not unlike what Dr. Klein just said, in social work, there are so many different fields, it's really too many to name. But to just give you a little sampling, first of all, most people, or your typical person, imagines a social worker works in the area of foster care, which is absolutely true. But that is not the only place that social workers work. We do see people in all different areas of child welfare, adoption, foster care, those kinds of things. But we also have social workers in schools. We have social workers in hospitals. We have military social workers. We have social workers who have ended up who have run for office and who are currently legislators. It happens that the Minnesota Commissioner on Corrections, Paul Schnell, was trained in social work at our very own program. So we have a wide range. I would say that we see maybe a larger share who are working in nonprofit organizations in the community, usually working with some vulnerable population or marginalized population. It could be at the community level, it could be working with families, and it could be working with individuals. And we do have quite a few students who go on to get a master's degree, and on occasion we have some who go on to get a doctoral degree as well and become professors.
Great, and let's hear from Dr. Nuru.
Thank you. Well, our graduates have gone on to work in amazing careers at places like Ronald McDonald House, and as speech pathologists, speech language pathologists, mental health practitioners, case managers, and so much more. Additionally, our graduates have gone on to pursue law and graduate degrees from top programs, including Boston University, University of Minnesota, and even in the Marriage and Family Graduate Psychology program here at St. Thomas.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like our graduates are really changing the world and helping so many people. And in missions, I hear from a lot of students that they want to help people, and that's awesome. And you have all just shared that there are so many ways to help people beyond those that we might think of traditionally. Well, that concludes our time today. I want to say thank you to our panelists. I'm going to share my screen again here so that we can look at your contact information. So students and those listening, if you have further questions for our wonderful faculty members, you can see their email addresses here on the screen. So please feel free to get in touch with them. They are wonderful people who are here to answer your questions and help you decide if St. Thomas and their program is the right place for you. If you have general questions about St. Thomas or the admissions process, please feel free to reach out to us here in the admissions office. We'd be happy to help you out. Again, thanks so much to our wonderful faculty members, and we hope to see you on campus soon. Thanks so much.